What is wrong with you, Ruth? What the heck was all that for? Why did you come out of nowhere and spill red wine all over me? And I had just bought this brand new dress for the wedding today. Shut up! You are useless to us. You happen to be an eyesore to me, so I had no choice but to pour my wine on you. And you shouldn't even be here in the first place. Huh? But I did just as you asked and brought the things you wanted, right? You told me right in the middle of the wedding that you wanted me to go out and get some cigarettes, and so I did. And I only just got back from the nearest gas station I could find. Well, you came back way too soon. I was hoping you would be gone for a bit longer. What are you talking about? You are always getting on me about hurrying up and getting what you ask for. And also, today is the day of the very important CEO's wedding. I thought it would be wrong of me to be away from my seat for too long, so I made sure to go as quickly as I could to get you those cigarettes. And why do you think I had to leave the wedding for a little bit? I was trying to make sure there'd be one less rival during the bouquet toss. But now that you're already back, there was no point in me sending you out at all. Huh? For the bouquet toss? Wait, you're telling me you're trying to catch the bouquet today? Of course I am! This year I'll be turning 34 years old. And so before I turn into a lonely woman, I have to make sure that I find myself a man to marry. So that's why today I'm making sure that I'll be the one to catch that bouquet. And it's not going to be just any old bouquet, but one being tossed by the CEO's wife herself. So grabbing that will definitely bring me the luck to find the man of my dreams this year. And so it's for that reason you decided to get wine all over my new dress? Well, this is a very important moment in my life. This is the wedding of my CEO, and so everything that happens today is huge for me. And not only are all the employees from the company here, but so are all of the company's customers and such. Even the younger CEOs from other companies that I'm aiming at getting lucky with. So I have to make sure that I show off to all of them by catching that bouquet right in front of their very eyes. So that's what you want, huh? The main guy I'm looking at is the young CEO of the company Green Life that we just started doing business with. Last time when I first saw him come into the offices, my heart started racing for him. I just knew that I had to see what it'd be like to be married to him. Huh? Marry? So that's why today, once I've caught that bouquet, I'll get far closer to him. I'm sure he'll see it all happen, and then I'll look over at him and start my plan of talking to him. As long as I can get him to notice and talk to me, then he'll be all mine. And since I'm a strong adult woman, a younger man like him would love to become married to me. And so that's the whole point of you trying to take out the competition? But I'm sorry to say, you tossing wine all over me is not something that I'll let you get away with. If you really wanted me to be out of the bouquet toss, you should have just come and talked to me about it face to face like a real adult. Shut up, you useless woman! Ever since this wedding had started, I could tell just how much of a problem you'd become for me. Even though you are lower than me in the company, you looked around like you were better. But I'm not going to let you think that you can have that young CEO instead of me. Huh? Ever since the start of this wedding, that young man has been watching me a lot. At first, I thought he was starting to become interested in me, but then I got the feeling that he was looking at you instead. Is that so? I guess I never really noticed him looking at me, ever. Well, that's because you're still young and naive. Not only can you never get anything you're asked to do done right, but even when asked to go out and buy me some cigarettes, you did it too quickly. If you happen to grab the attention of my young man from me again, I'm going to reduce your pay. What? There is no way you could get away with something like that. And I'm telling you that I'm not trying to get with that man. Then, if you want me to trust you, go ahead and leave this wedding. Especially now that you're all covered in red wine, there's no point in you sticking around and ruining the vibe of this wedding. A useless girl like you needs to go home. Having a disgusting subordinate like you head home is not a problem at all for the rest of us. You better not mean any of that, you old hag. Huh? Whoops. I accidentally happened to use a not-so-nice word to describe you there. But even using that word hasn't subsided any of my anger. I suppose I really am at my limit with you then. I can see that recently you've been a bit rude with how you've gone about things around me. But to think that on a day as important as this you'd stoop so low? I can't believe you think you have the right to toss me out of my own dad's wedding. Huh? Your own dad? Today is the wedding of the CEO of the company I work for. But that also means that today is the day of my dad's wedding. I had been so looking forward to this day and everything. But now you've gone and ruined that for me. Huh? Wait just a second. What do you mean by your dad's wedding? Are you actually the daughter of this company's CEO? Yes, I am his actual daughter. When I was born, my mom ended up passing away during the birth. And ever since then, my dad was a single father, making sure to do anything he could to raise me well. I'm sure that having to run a huge company while caring for me was a tough task for him to accomplish. But thankfully, after all of that, he has finally come around to finding another woman to marry. And as his only child, I was looking forward to being able to celebrate that for him. But because of you, Ruth, everything is ruined. You're lying, right? I never heard from anyone that you were the CEO's daughter. Well, my dad told a lot of the top-level people to never say anything about it and just let me do my job like everyone else. After all, being known as the daughter of the CEO would have created a lot of unnecessary stress. So from a young age, it was made sure that I was raised with the best education. But I made sure that all I wanted was a job working here, and to be treated the same as everyone else for the time being. Are you serious then? So I please ask that even though you know about me being his daughter now, that you keep it a secret from everyone else. If you can do that for me, then I'll keep you spilling wine all over me a secret between us. Wait, really? Don't get the wrong idea about this, okay? This is all to make sure that my dad's wedding is not ruined today. If everyone had to learn that the daughter of the CEO had wine intentionally spilled all over her, it would make this one of the worst days of my dad's life. All I have to do is get myself into a new dress. Now, I'm going to get myself a new dress to change into, and since that will take me some time, I won't be able to take part in the bouquet toss. So go on ahead and try with all your might to grab that bouquet. Hey, Luna. If you have the time, what do you think about getting lunch together today? I actually have a restaurant that I'd really like to go and eat at. Why are you asking me that out of nowhere? You had never once invited me out to lunch before. And where did calling me a useless subordinate go? Oh, come on now. Since when did I ever call you a useless subordinate, Luna? I would never call someone as important as my coworker something like that. Huh? Well, once you've finished up whatever work you have this morning, give me a call or text. I'll do my best to match my timing with you and we can both go out to eat. But I wonder if the restaurant that I want to go to will be okay. It's going to be one of those general lunch places that everyone goes to for lunch during work, so that doesn't seem fit for the CEO's daughter. I really want to know what's going on here. If you're trying to get on my good side now, you're too late. Just because of that wedding, that doesn't mean everything you did to me in the past is just gone and disappeared. What? Oh, I'm not trying to get on your good side. I just want you and I to have a little time together since I'm your boss. Well then, if that's the case, I'd rather us not worry about any of that. And anyway, I'm already eating my lunch as we speak. Huh? Oh, is that right? Then I guess I'll take my lunch now and come see you. Can you tell me where you're eating right now? No, thank you. I don't want you here. Well, if you're going to be that cold, I'll tell you the truth. I actually have something I'd like to talk with you about. I have a small problem going on, and leaving it as is will make it hard for me to focus on my work. And so I'd like to talk to a splendid subordinate like you about everything that's bothering me. You have a problem? If I'm not able to do my best with my work here by focusing on my tasks at hand, then this company could run into some problems as well, right? And that would lead to your daddy becoming very sad by the state of his company. As the daughter of the CEO and being my subordinate, I'd like for you to listen to me. Well, if that's all you want, then tell me right now. Because I am not interested in having lunch together with you. Come on, you're being too stubborn, Luna. I'm just asking for you to hear me out about a couple of things. But if you say you'll listen right now, I guess that'll do. What I want to ask from you is that you become my Cupid to help me with my love. Huh? And what does that mean? I'd like for you to help me become even closer with the young CEO of Green Life. I ended up never catching that bouquet at the wedding last week, and so I never had a chance to get close to him then. But if it were to happen that the daughter of this company's CEO became a friend of mine, then I might have a chance. So, to make sure that him and I can become a couple, come and help me. At that wedding for your dad last week, him and that young CEO seemed to get along with one another really well. So there's no way, as his daughter, you can't help me get closer to that guy. So I'd like to ask that, using your influence, you help introduce me to a man like him. And in that way, you'll be helping me get married to him. I will not help you in any way with that. What? If you had some issue related to work, I wouldn't mind helping, but I have no interest in your private life. You are free to be upset about whatever it is that happens at home, but when you are in the office, you should be focused on your work at hand. Hey, hold on, Luna. What do you think you're doing saying no to your boss's request? With what you had just been asking from me, there was no relation to us being boss and subordinate. Huh? You stop right there. I am asking for your hand in all of this, so don't think you can talk back to me. I don't care that you are the CEO's daughter. You cannot speak to me that way. I'm not acting this way because I'm his daughter, though. You are. You are acting like a stuck-up jerk right now because of your status. Listen, even if you are the daughter of the man that runs this company, you are still my subordinate and I can ask what I want from you. And I'm sure you understand that you must always do what your boss asks from you. If you don't want me to go back to the days of me calling you useless, then you'd better listen to me. I want you to use your influence as the CEO's daughter to make sure that I meet the love of my life and marry him.
Even if she were to show you to me, I'd never go out with someone like you.
Huh?
I wonder who is really abusing their status right now. You're the one using your position as boss to ask your subordinate to help you with a personal issue outside the company. As her older brother, I will not let you keep doing this to Luna.
Oh, older brother, huh? You're Luna's older brother, then? In other words, you're the son of the CEO, then? But Luna said she was an only child.
I am also the CEO of Green Life, Jackson. Thank you so much for attending my father's wedding last week. And I also want to thank you for looking after my sister as she began working within that company.
What? So you're the young CEO from Green Life?
And for whatever reason, I can see that you are really interested in me. But I'm sorry, I will never be going out with you in any way.
Huh?
I'm not really fond of people that call my sister a useless subordinate, as well as doing other unjust things as she's trying to get her work done.
Wait a minute, Jackson. I think you misunderstood. That was just me talking to her on a more personal level. To me, Luna is a very important subordinate, and so I had to keep her in line.
Huh. So you spoke to her like that on a personal level then?
Also, you and I have never had the chance to talk to one another in person yet, have we? So please don't say you're not fond of me until you see who I really am. I'm sure that if you and I went out to eat together, you'd learn to take back what you said.
You have a lot of confidence in yourself, don't you?
I've been told a lot that I'm a really good-looking woman for being in my 30s. And so I'm sure that someone as young and fit as you would fall in love with me as well. And also, during your dad's wedding last week, you were looking at me over and over again, right? I know that you felt a little something for me back then, didn't you?
Back then, I was not looking at you all those times. I was just looking at my younger sister all those times. So don't think I had any feelings for you back then.
Huh?
I happen to talk with my sister about her job quite a lot. She always comes to me asking for help with things like the relationship she has with you. Always telling me things aren't going well. And about you calling her useless, that you gave her crappy jobs to work on. And when she would help you finish up a project, you would end up blaming her for any mistakes that there might have been. You really do check out as a type of woman with that toxic attitude.
That all never happened between us. I believe that maybe Luna is just a little confused about things here. I'm not the kind of boss to bully any of my subordinates like that, Jackson.
Well, if that happens to be the case, I'd like for you to stop thinking about dating me and to never bother my sister with anything besides work ever again. And when it comes to the work you give her, make sure it's the work she's supposed to do and nothing else. Now I'll be going. I just finished up having a great lunch with Luna and have to get back to business myself.
Wait, what have you done? Now it looks like that young man hates me. And why did you have to tell him about all the relationship we had in the past? I didn't do anything wrong, though. I just happened to ask for his advice when dealing with you. And it's the truth that you always called me useless and would always get upset with me for mistakes I made doing your own job. Shut up already. You're still my subordinate and you have no right talking back to me like that. All right? Go and talk to him about how you messed up and lied about what you said about me. Tell him that I'm an amazing boss and woman so that he'll start to like me again. If you don't do that, then I'll have you fired. Huh? Fire me? It doesn't matter if you're the daughter of the CEO or not. After all, nobody else knows that about you anyway. And so when you're someone that everyone couldn't care less about, being fired is not a big deal. And if you're so upset about the way I've been treating you, allow me to end it all for you. I have to ask, how many people have you fired already for not doing as you liked? I'm sorry, Ruth, but you're not going to be able to get away with that anymore. Huh? Oh. I've already heard about this stuff from some other employees. About how anyone that works under you always either gets fired or quits within a couple months of being your subordinate. But with the company becoming more interested in what's going on with your department, your best bet is to run. What are you even talking about? Don't act as though I have some sort of pleasure in firing those that work for me. But that could be just the case, right? You always try and force people to make mistakes and then criticize the hell out of them for it. And so when you've had enough picking on them, you end up firing them and moving on to the next victim, right? And if you try and dig your way out of this one, I've made sure to collect all the evidence I need. What? Evidence? When talking further with some of those other coworkers and employees, they made sure to tell me everything about what's been going on with you. But I am not going to forgive you for being compliant within my dad's company. Hence the reason I always put up with the way you called me names and forced me into tough positions. And after doing that for a while now, I was able to get all I needed to make sure that you never get away with it again. But what kind of evidence could you have? You've already made the choice to be fired by me, so nobody in the higher-up positions will listen to you. And I'm sure that evidence isn't anything anyway. Nobody has been fired or quit yet, so there's still lots of ears ready to listen. Ah, and did I tell you I spoke with those that you ended up firing before? They all gave me lots of juicy evidence when it comes to the things you did to them. What did you say? I can't believe I was able to get all this evidence on you because I'm sure with the way things were going between you and I, you would have really ruined the image of this company. So I've now come to the conclusion that the only way to end all of this within your department is to have you fired. Wait a minute, Luna. What do you mean, have me fired? I'm one of the big players within this company. I'm the one that puts in the effort for a lot of sales and everything that has to do with selling to customers. But you always ended up handing off your work to your subordinates, so perhaps they were the ones really making things work for the company. And all I've gathered as evidence, I'll bring to HR and have them think about you. And of course, I'll also be letting my dad know about this as well. I'll even make sure to ask him to have you let go of as soon as possible. You're lying, right? You know very well that all the things you've been doing within the company was not okay. So please, hurry up and start preparing your things in that office for when the time comes you have to leave. I'm sure that by next week the decision will be made. You can't just do this to me! Why do I have to be the one to leave this company? All I did was get rid of the subordinates that I couldn't use. Actually, if anything, it's because of them always making mistakes that I had to put in more work to correct them all. You should be thankful that I did all of that. You really are self-centered about everything. Even after being exposed like this, you're trying to make it seem as though you did the right thing all those times? I might have to show my brother all of this evidence as well later on. Huh? I'm assuming that this will all require you to step into my dad's office at some point to explain yourself, so enjoy that time with him one-on-one and say whatever reasons you'd like. That would be the perfect chance for you to ask if you can marry his son. I'm sure that would be your last chance to get closer to my brother. You think that I could talk about your brother like that now? Well, I'm going to get back to work now. I assume that I'll have a lot more work to do now that you've lost even more focus. And I still have a bunch of your work from this morning to finish. I was able to have a delicious lunch with my brother at least, so maybe that'll help me make less mistakes. And just after that, Ruth was called up to my dad's office where she was told to never come back to the office ever again. And when the company made their final decision the following week, she had to come back in and explain everything while she cried. But my father ended up telling me that after having to come in and explain herself to all the higher-ups, she burst out saying that I was the perfect subordinate. She then followed up by saying that she was so proud to be my boss and asked that they please let her continue her work with me. And of course, my father and everyone agreed with her, saying that I was the best. But then they continued to fire her, and she had to leave the offices for good. But that wasn't the end for her, as all those old employees she fired came back to fight her in court for firing them without reason. And so now, Ruth is having to go from hearing to hearing, paying one upset ex-subordinate after another for her mistakes.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
What the heck is going on here, Brandy? I cannot believe that I've just found out that you're the one that's been going out with my husband behind my back. You really did a great job hiding that important bit of information from me. Why are you talking about me like that out of nowhere? Do you really think that one of your good old friends would be stupid enough to go out with your husband? Especially when I've been a great friend to you, actually. So could you please stop acting like I'd ever do something as ridiculous as that? Could you stop trying to hide what you've been doing from me? I finally had enough of my husband always dodging me and asked for someone to follow him and find out more from me about what he's been up to. And guess what? That guy I asked to follow him around noticed that you've been the one that Frank's been cheating on me with. Huh? You asked someone to stalk him? You actually went ahead and did something crazy like that? Well, you were the one that suggested I do something like that, right? You said to my face that if I really wanted to learn about what my husband's been up to have some pro follow him around and find out for me. And that's why I paid $500 to have a guy go out and get me the information I needed. Man, I can't believe that. I thought because of how much of a pussy you are, you'd never have the nerve to do that to him. Well, I've been proven wrong today. If that pro you got to stalk him found that much evidence, then there really is no use in playing dumb anymore, is there? Well, you're right. I've been the one going out with your husband behind your back. You are the worst, Brandy. How could you do this to me after all those times I came to you about how I thought he was cheating on me? You even told me to find a pro to go out and follow him. Tell me, Brandy, what were you feeling when I came to get advice from you on what I should do about Frank? I bet while you put on a face to show how much you were worried about me, you were laughing your butt off inside. That's right. I had to hold back so much laughter to make sure I didn't spill the truth. And man, did I do a great job. I was able to fool you long enough to get you to actually go out and hire someone to get evidence for you. And now, because of that, you've finally come to realize it's been me all along and you've wasted so much time and money. Remember how much I had tried to get evidence of Frank cheating on me? But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get anywhere. But you were there telling me to not give up. Why did you have to be the one going out with my husband this whole dang time? Because you're a disgusting piece of crap, Miriam. And that's why I went ahead and stole your husband from you. Wait, I'm the piece of crap? You and I are like two peas in a pod, yet you thought it was okay to get married before me? I was not going to just sit around letting you get away with that. Ever since you got married, my parents have been on me saying that I need to get married soon as well, and it's been so annoying. And then, right before they end their little pep talks with me, they told me to take some inspiration from you in finding a husband. And to be honest, I have been wanting to get married for a long time now, but I haven't been able to find the right man. And I don't want some loser to become my husband. I have to have the perfect man, and I've been waiting forever for him to come. What? What the heck, Brandy? That makes no sense to me. Why would that be your reason for taking my husband from me? Shut up, Miriam. It's your fault for thinking that you could live a happy life being married to Frank before me. Frank is such a great employee and makes enough to allow you to be happy every single day. Huh? Well, I've been wanting a man with decent money myself. Yet while I've been waiting to come across that man, you brought your money-making man around showing him off to me. Why did you get to end up marrying the perfect man for me? You really think I'd allow you to do that to me? That's why you're a disgusting piece of crap and why I stole him from you. So that's your reason for stealing your longtime good friend's husband? Are you actually this happy to watch me suffer like this? I'm sorry, but that happiness won't last long for you if that's what you sought by doing this. Huh? I'm sorry, but I'm going to be happy with what I've done to you for a very long time. But to be honest with you, now that you know I've been the one going out with him behind your back, the thrill of it has ended. However, now he and I are going to get married soon, so you hurry up and divorce him for me. Excuse me? So you really are just going to straight up steal him from me? Did you really think I'd go through all the work of getting him to fall for me just to let you have him back after finding out about what he was doing? I really do want to steal him from you, and there's nothing you can do to stop me now. Maybe if you'd been a bit closer with your husband, he would have never fallen for me. But you chose to never hang out with him enough and show him the love he deserves, and that's why he's mine now. You have proof, after all, that he and I are deeply in love, so you shouldn't even have to question anything anymore. I'm going to marry Frank, so step aside. I guess you're right. I do have a boatload of photos now showing you going out with my husband and the two of you being so close. And he's smiling with you way more than anything I've ever seen from him. Frank is actually a really loving man. When he first started to fall for me, he immediately told me that he wanted to get married. And to get me to agree with him, he's bought me all sorts of gifts. And he's even told me that the moment we get married, we're moving into a penthouse downtown. Huh? He has promised me all of that and so much more. He's even told me that he wants to make sure that I live a totally free life. And that's why he's going to let me be his housewife in that new penthouse. Also, he's promised that by the time we've moved into that place, he'll be a CEO and we'll have all kinds of money at our disposal. Is that so? Well, good for you. Why are you acting all okay about this now? You shouldn't be telling me that this will be good for me. You should be crying and begging me to give Frank back to you. You just lost the love of your life to your best friend, and you're going to try and hide behind a strong mask? Give me a break, Miriam. You just lost a wealthy man to your longtime friend. I'm not trying to fake being strong about this right now. I'm just telling you how I feel about the situation. After all, you have always been the one with a better sense of style than me. So I feel that you'll be a much better wife to him when he becomes a CEO than I will. Oh, stop that. I can't believe you understand this so well. Of course, I will look a lot better in the arms of a wealthy man like Frank. That's right. You'll look perfect next to him. And that's why I've already come to terms with you stealing him from me and kind of think of it as a great thing for everyone involved. And to be frank, me being with him is way too abnormal and shouldn't have even happened in the first place. Right? Compared to a level-headed woman like you being with him, a sexy-looking young gal like me is a much better match. Now, I'm looking forward to hearing about your guys' divorce. You really helped me out a lot by bringing a good-looking and wealthy man like Frank to me. Just a second ago, I got the divorce papers for us. And I've already filled it out and signed my name on it. So please make sure to sign it when you get home. Then I'll be able to hand it in right away, and you and Brandy can continue your guys' dream of getting married.
What? Why do you know about how I've been hanging around Brandy this whole time?
For a long time now, I've been aware of you going out with another woman and never telling me anything about it. So I got some advice from a friend and went and hired a pro to follow you around and gather some evidence. And the evidence I got from that pro was shocking, to say the least. But that's why I'm willing to divorce you now, Frank.
You hired a pro?
This should all be amazing news for you, right? From what she was telling me, she made it look as though you wanted to get married to her as soon as possible. So having the only thing stopping you from that say she's going to disappear should make you happy, right?
Well, you have a good point. I am a bit surprised, though, that you figured all of that out so quickly. But the fact that you're even willing to leave me now without fighting back is perfect.
I will ask you this one thing, though. Why did you end up cheating on me? And furthermore, why did you cheat on me with one of my best friends?
You already know the answer to all of that. It's because her and I were meant to be together, and there's nothing that can get in the way of our happiness together.
Huh? Can you say that to me one more time?
The person that I should be married to isn't you. The person that's fated to be my wife is Brandy. So you can't really call what's been going on between the two of us cheating. I've just been going out with my destined wife, and that's totally okay.
So that's how much you're in love with that girl. Have you told her yet that the company you're slated to run is starting to collapse? Well, I guess it all makes sense now that you have all that time on your hands to be going out with another woman. You haven't even been bothering to save the company, instead thinking that it'll just save itself while you go out with your destined lover.
Well, I'll have you know that ever since I started going out with Brandy, my company has gotten back up.
What?
This year, there have been a lot of rival companies doing a lot better than this one, and it was expected that this company would fall. However, we began to sell a lot of assets to make up for whatever losses there have been. But as we were thinking that selling assets wouldn't even bring in enough money to make up for the losses, I ran into Brandy. We both decided to go out to dinner together, even though I was exhausted. And what do you know? The day after that first date, my company received a new contract.
Really? You think that it's because of her your company's on the way back to the top after being in such a terribly low position?
This isn't just some coincidence, you know. Every time since then that we've gone on dates with one another, my company's image has gone up and there have been more profits. There is still a little ways to go before the company really begins to rake in the money, but I know for a fact that we've avoided going bankrupt. To me, Brandy is no different than a miracle to me, and I will not let go of her.
So this is your reason for throwing me away and going after her? Even though this whole time I've been the one standing by your side supporting you? Even when I've been with you while the company has been going under, cheering you on?
I don't need you around anymore. It's as simple as that. The only woman I need now is Brandy, and no one else. I'm still shocked myself that she's given me so much more than you, and we're not even married yet. That's the power of being with the woman you're destined to be with. I can tell right now that the moment we marry, things will only become even better for me, and I'll be the happiest man in the world.
You may be right about that. After all, you both look as though you'd go perfectly together after getting married. All I am now to the both of you is a wall in the way of your bright future together.
Oh? What's happened to you all of a sudden? You're acting like you're totally fine with the fact that I'm leaving you now.
Well, you said it yourself, right? The moment you and her started going out with one another, your company was able to make an amazing comeback, right? And since that's been able to go on for a bit now, there's no way it's just a coincidence. Also, you are so invested in marrying her that there's nothing left for me to do to change your mind. Really, I'm starting to think that she really is meant for you too. So I have nothing left to do now besides letting her have you.
Well, it's really helping me out a lot that you've already come to understand this. To tell you the truth, she isn't even the first woman that I've messed around with while being married to you. So, just to be a kind man, I'll pay you whatever you ask for me to make up for the pain I've caused.
Thank you, Frank. That money will really help me out a lot. Now, I'd really like to get that divorce paperwork handed in, so get to it and sign what needs to be signed. I'll be wishing for the both of you to have a happy and healthy marriage to one another after this. I just happened to get married to Frank yesterday. We both went to the city office yesterday and filed our marriage papers. Congratulations, Brandy. You are finally with the man you were destined for. So, can we finally agree that I've come out on top of everyone? The next thing I get to look forward to is moving into that penthouse with Frank soon. To tell you the truth, right after we handed in our papers yesterday and became married, we went right to the penthouse and walked through it. And we decided that the place was perfect for us and immediately agreed that we'd like to rent it. What? You've already found yourselves a penthouse you plan to move into? It's around $10,000 a month to rent the place and was just remodeled with all the newest appliances. But because of that high price, it'll take a few days for the realtor to check over Frank's income to make sure he can afford the place. But he is Frank, after all, so there's no doubt we're getting that penthouse. So today we're going to head to some of the finest furniture stores in the state to start buying only the best luxury furniture and electronics. And Frank's even told me that I can pick anything I want, no questions asked. It must be so exciting to be you right now. I think right now you're the most excited woman on this planet. Of course I am. I was able to find myself the perfect man to make my husband, and we just got married. He is such a gentleman, and he's the new CEO of that company, so there was no hesitation. Being able to marry the perfect man has made me really think that I can get away with pretty much anything now. I'm so happy that I'll buy literally everything in those furniture stores today. Thank you so much, Miriam. You were very kind in allowing me to have your husband without there being any kind of retaliation. No, thank you, Brandy. You were able to get that CEO of a collapsing company out of my sight. Huh? I didn't even think that it'd be possible for you two to get married to one another this quickly. I am bursting with joy now. And to see you so happy with such a useless man warms my heart right up. Wait a second. Stop calling Frank a useless man. And what are you talking about? His company is not close to collapsing, right? He told me that his company is doing amazing right now and is expected to bring in loads this year. Well, that's what was expected before. But today, that contract that he was expecting to renew has been ended. And since he now has no customers willing to work with his company this quarter, he'll be right back on the path to bankruptcy. And unlike all the other times, I won't be there to help him and his company out of it. I don't see him having any other way of getting that company back on its feet now, so he's on a one-way trip to losing everything. Huh? And because of all that, don't expect to be able to afford that penthouse. After all, those landlords and realtors are very, very strict about who is allowed to rent them or not. And I think them seeing that Frank is on the road to losing his company and his money, they won't allow you guys to live there. What the hell are you going on about? Why the hell would Frank's company be on the brink of going bankrupt now? There's no way. What contract is he going to lose, and why would that make him lose his chance at renting the penthouse for us? I bet you're just upset with me now because I'm way more happy than you are and are trying to sabotage my emotions. Well then, why not give Frank a text or call about it? But I'm sure he's running around right now like a chicken with his head cut off, so you might be better off just texting him. Heck, I'd say your best chance now is to just head over to his company and see the condition it's in yourself.
What the hell is going on here, Miriam? Recently, that contract I've been planning on renewing has fallen out, and the customer is planning on looking to other companies now. If I'm not able to find anyone else to start working with me, I really will be on a one-way trip to going bankrupt. If you have any idea as to why this could be happening to me, please tell me.
What? Why are you contacting me about all of that? All I am to you now is your ex-wife, right?
I've already heard about everything from Brandy. She told me that you happen to know about that contract being ended, and seems to think you know the reason why. Why would my ex-wife know anything about my company and its contracts? Wait, could this mean that after the divorce, you've been holding something against me? And this is all you're doing?
I haven't done anything, Frank. All I ended up doing was telling my parents and family about how you left me for my friend. But funny enough, that company that you had the contract with was actually run by my family.
What?
And let me just say that I never asked any of my family to end that contract with your company. But when telling them all about how we got a divorce and the reason behind it, they all seemed to become pretty upset. And that might be why they chose to stop working with you and your company.
I don't think any of that is a maybe anymore. I'm 100% sure that that's what's happening here. There's no other reason for this to be happening now. This is all unbelievable, though. How could the company that I've been working with for a little while now be run by your family? I've never heard anything about that from you or anyone.
You have a great point. But the reason you never heard anything about that is because you were too busy cheating on me with Brandy at the time the contract was made.
What?
You don't even want to know the amount of times I went to my parents asking them to please make a contract with your company. But I really wanted to help my then husband get the company back on its feet before taking on the role as CEO. And that's why I went through all that hard work. But you never noticed me putting in all that work because you were too busy going out with a good friend of mine.
Huh? You went and did all that for me?
I thought it'd be right as your wife to try and help you with your job. But at the time, I had no idea about all of that business-related stuff. So that's why I did what I could with what I had to make sure that your company could make a comeback. Going to my own family begging for them to make a contract with your company. And after so much work, they finally decided to give your company a really decent contract. But that whole time, you had no idea of it and thought it all had to do with Brandy. Well, it must hurt your pride now, knowing that your company having a chance to get back on its feet was all due to my family and I.
So you're saying that the really generous contract the company had gotten was all due to you? This had nothing to do with Brandy?
That's absolutely right. It was all just a coincidence. While you were out being unfaithful, I was working my butt off to save your skin. And when my work was all said and done, you were given that contract and thanked Brandy for it, saying that she was like some kind of miracle for you. Even saying to me that she was your destined wife and would help you both make bank.
But that's...
When I had to listen to you go on and on about all of that, it really gave me a frickin' headache. You didn't care for any of the work I put in and continued on about how she was your good luck charm. After all that, the love that I'd worked so hard to make with you fell apart and withered away.
You're lying, right? How could this all have happened due to you, and not due to the fact that I'm finally with my destined wife? So, what am I going to do now knowing that Brandy isn't really what's been giving me so much good luck? I finally thought that the company was golden, and now it's going right back down the drain. And now, I'm not even going to have the help of your family with me.
How about you go ask your good luck charm of a wife for help? If she really is the woman you're destined to be with, then you'll make it out of all this just fine. You really have everything, so there will be some way your company makes it out of all this.
But what if this time a miracle doesn't happen?
Well, then that just means your wife isn't all you thought she was. Now, your ex-wife has to get going. You're supposed to be having the best time of your life right now, so please go back to being happy for everyone. What am I going to do, Miriam? Frank's company really is coming to an end like you said. He told me that now the company faces bankruptcy. He's not going to have any more money. Oh my. It's only been 1 week and things aren't going as the two of you had planned? What happened to him being the perfect man for you and having all that money? Right now, there's nothing about him that's perfect. He's not even going to be able to get that penthouse for us now. And as for all that luxury furniture and electronics that I bought, we have to go and return it all. All because he couldn't take care of his company. Why, when I was just about to become the happiest woman in the world, did this have to happen to me? Sucks to suck, Brandy. You actually thought that stealing one of your best friend's husbands would end up going well for you? Stop trying to talk to me like that right now. What I want to know is why you never told your best friend about how her man's company was on the brink of going bankrupt. If only I'd known that his company was in bad condition before marrying him, then I could have had the chance to leave him before we tied the knot. You are a freaking jerk for hiding a truth like that from your friend. Why would you do something so hurtful to me of all people? You know the reason for that, right? You were the one that started all of this by stealing Frank from me. Huh? If I had told you about all of this, you would have never fallen for the trap of marrying him, right? But I didn't want to ruin your guys' love that quickly. I wanted you both to really get inches away from your happiness before I told you all the truth. And would you look at that? I timed it all out perfectly, and now both the crappy friend of mine and my useless ex can suffer for what they've done. So there you go. My reason for hiding the truth from you. So that's why you were totally fine with the two of us getting married and even encouraged it. I should have known something was up by how fast you recovered from that blow. I was being honest, though, about you both getting married. You really are meant for each other based off how horrible of people you are. A brainless husband and his brainless wife makes for a perfect match. This is so messed up. Wanting both your ex and best friend to end up in shambles? And now you're calling us both stupid? I bet that you've been laughing about all of this behind our backs. You apologize to me right now for doing something like this to me. Wait, why should I do that? Weren't you the one that started all of this by going out with my husband behind my back? And you told me that you put on a face when talking to me because you were really laughing about how sad I was, right? Well, that was... So what you should be saying is that we both got to get in a good laugh from all this. And none of this is okay, though. Especially since you ended up getting a ton of money from Frank in the divorce while I'm going to end up with nothing. And I have to thank you for being there to save his company when you did. Because of that, he was able to make just enough money to pay me the amount I asked for before I left. Well, I want to divorce him and get his money as well now. Yet right now he has no money to his name. It's not fair that you're the only one making out of this with money. Stop being so selfish, Brandy. You at least got to marry the perfect man that you'd been searching so long for, right? If you're really wanting money as well now, go ahead and help him save his company then. Go around and find a company that you'll be willing to get on your hands and knees for to beg for them to make a contract with him. You wanted to become the wife of a CEO, so you have to start putting in the work to help keep him there. After that, Brandy tried to get Frank to divorce her, but he turned around and told her that she could not run away and that she needed to help him save his company. And so she ended up having to stick by his side, helping him find ways to get his company from going bankrupt and help themselves from losing everything. But of course, they weren't going to be able to do much about how bad of a situation the company was already in. And as I'd mentioned before, it was on a one-way trip out of here. As of right now, those two had to move into a really cheap apartment together and are living every day of their lives using large amounts of borrowed money. As for me, due to the money I received from Frank in the divorce and the settlement thereafter, I've been doing pretty well on my own. For the time being, I think I'm going to take things slow and work towards making myself an even better person, before going back out into the romance world looking for a new partner.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow.